I know y'all heard about this TikTok thing. This guy named, let's go to him because I guess he explained it good.
So hear me out. You know, we've been talking about this new app called Upscrolled and the fact that new users like Guy Christensen in the last 24 hours have gained over 40,000 followers. One man, one user, 40,000. Israeli Exposed, over 14,000. Gen X Girl, 5,000. Myself, 500 in literally 15 minutes. So if you guys haven't heard, TikTok is being boycotted right now. There are millions of users by the second literally abandoning the platform, downloading this new app called Upscrolled, seeing how awesome it is, and then going and grabbing all their children and telling them that they're no longer allowed to use TikTok in this house, and they're forcing them to download Upscrolled and move all their social media platforms over. This is the biggest exodus of any social media platform in history. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Ryan, I'm not going to leave one social media platform just to be censored on another, because eventually, you know, they're going to control all the social media.
That is true. And it's funny how, because if you got TikTok, which I don't even understand how they think that this was going to work ever in life. You're blatantly telling people that we're going to censor you and you can't say certain things. Just blatantly say that. Before they used to try to like hide it, but now they're like, no, you just can't say it, buddy. And now that they're doing that, people want to obviously go on to another platform where they can actually talk. I don't think the TikTok itself is that serious, especially if smaller creators could get bigger. That's the only reason why TikTok even got as big as it got, is because you could be anybody can go viral on TikTok. Anybody. I downloaded TikTok and I said, you know what? I'm going to make it my goal to go viral on there. My TikTok video got 5 million plus. And I orchestrated, because it's the algorithm, you can know exactly how to get your video to go viral on TikTok. So when you have creators that's just talking in the living room in a bonnet and they can go make millions of views, it's going to incentivize people to use the app. But if you're censoring people and another app is not, and small creators can go viral easily, you're done, buddy. You're done. But once again, if you are switching it to something else, then they can just take over the speech of that. But I think he got a formula for that, just waiting.
Platforms. Well, let me introduce you to the CEO of Upscrolled so you can get an idea of what you're working with. I want to give a big shout out to Suppressed News. Let me read this tweet, then we're going to play this video. Big shout out to Suppressed News, man. Thanks for sharing this one. He says, listen to the founder of Upscrolled, Hizam Hijazi.
That's it. I can look at his face. They say don't judge a book by its cover. I'm going to do that, because it's 0% chance they get in this man to bend that knee, because I can see it in his face. Oh, look, it's really, they ended 60 members of his family.
Why he created the platform, following extreme censorship and shadow banning by big tech companies and social media. Israeli killed 60 members of his family in Gaza during the past 2 years. I love when things are personal like this. You know, James O'Keefe, and he says, you know, everybody has a price. Mine is my life. If you killed 60 members of my family, I think my price would be my life. So you would have to literally pry this out of my frozen dead hands to get control or access to my social media platform. And I think he's incentivized to keep this gravy train rolling. So if you want to swing over to Upscrolled, do it at Ryan Matta. Check out this interview.
And they give us, you know, some hope, like Microsoft. They're not doing this minor, and then we're happy because the UN said, oh, we recognize the state of Palestine. I mean, what does that mean? I mean, end the genocide, that's when you will have our respect. That's giving us words and having people continue to be killed every single day as we speak now. That doesn't solve the problem. I mean, we shouldn't be happy or hopeful so much when we hear the UN or some politicians say, oh, we recognize this. I mean, who the fuck cares about what you say? We recognize Palestine since 1948 and before that. Right. Shadow banning really in simple terms is the process that these big tech companies impose systematically to restrict the content reach for its users. Things like against the policy, against the regularity, and really what they mean is against the propaganda that they serve or the people that they serve. The user who do the labeling for the content first before training the model itself could be biased by nature. They could be coming, for example, from IDF. So these people deliberately would make and label this content as bad, so these machine learning algorithm would pick it up. And then Meta would come a year after, say, oh, it's a bug, it's something error in the system, but what really happens is not really a bug. So that's why a lot of pro-Palestinian content get flagged. A lot of pro-Palestinian users get banned many times. Larry Ellison, the owner of Oracle, is the biggest contributor to the Friends for Ideas charity, right?
Yeah, that's right.
His last contribution was about 16 million, and that tells you something. If that person, who's friend with Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel in general, is gonna own 80% of TikTok, moving on, and if Netanyahu himself saying that the importance of utilizing TikTok and X to spread their narrative, that tells you a lot of things. They understand the danger that TikTok has created, obviously, and social media in general, of reaching out to every person across the globe or showing the real face of Israel to the world. And now they want to control that, just like they controlled CNN, just like they control Fox News and all the other media outlets. They understand now this is the new tool to control the brains of the young generation everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but TikTok deleted, joined Upscroll. Come join us. Let's make the revolution start today.
I agree with that. And that's the problem. When you have these companies that have their ulterior motives, instead of just actually giving people a platform to have fun with and be able to say whatever they want to say on the platform, then you start creating that, right? Because I would love to know, if you get Zios, people that are pro the other side, would he also say, you know what, all right, you're not pro my side, so I'll still let you be in the algorithm, because that'd be like the pot calling the kettle black, right? If you just do the same exact thing that you're accusing them of doing, which doesn't make any sense if you're really about it. But that's what happens when you're in a position and take advantage of it. When you have one side that say, look, we're going to censor the other side completely, and then we're going to control everything. Guess what happens when the other side gets a platform? They're going to do the same exact thing. Same thing with Democrats, Republicans. It's like a fight back and forth. And there's a fight back and forth with our money and our tools and our lives. Everything is only affecting us. They had this meme that I just seen, which was fantastic. And it was just basically a gate opening up and a luxury car going inside to that gate. And the writing on it was basically saying Congress people, senators, everybody going home after a long 2 hours of work, after they fought to have illegals come inside the country. So they'll have illegals come inside the country and say that they belong to be here and fight for them to be here as they go home to gated communities, but they don't want people that's outside of the gated communities to have access to. That doesn't make sense.
Designate the use of the term Zionist as a proxy for a protected attribute as hate speech. Over the course of 2024, we tripled the amount of accounts that we were banning for hateful activity.
I came to shut it down, down.
They just giving these people free promo, because you cannot tell people that they cannot speak regular words. This is a free country, and the First Amendment, it actually means something. And you can just say that. You're not inciting anything. You're not trying to hurt nobody by somebody rightfully declaring you what you are. That doesn't even make sense. It's an actual word. To say somebody is a Zionist, that's an actual word. That's weird. So now a lot of people going, I want to see how many people deleted TikTok thus far. Let's see. How many users deleted? Let's see. If anything, as of late January 2026, TikTok has experienced a significant surge in uninstall, with the daily average of U.S. users deleting the app by increasing by near 150% over a 5-day period. The surge is driven by user frustration over technical issues, privacy concerns, and changing ownership, making it a top 10 deleted app. That is insane. And the surge is just right now. So whatever's going on right now, if you do decide to delete TikTok and say, you know what, F it, I'm hopping off of that and I'm going to Upscroll, just comment your @ name on the new Upscroll, because it is the #1 app right now in the App Store, which is kind of insane. It's only like, when I seen it, it was only like 400 reviews. And for it to hit #1 means it's really pumping up, because they're really pissing people off. And ironically, this is for people on the left, the right, wherever you at. But TikTok was definitely a liberals' playground, and I think they messed with like their wrong group of people. So let us know your name.